I'm questioning my client in her medical malpractice trial. And now, a few minutes into my questioning, all of a sudden the judge yells out, "Counselor, I told you stop doing that!" And I thought he's talking to me. And I look over, he was actually yelling at my opponent. You want to know what this is about? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski, a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. So now I'm in the middle of questioning my witness in something known as direct examination. I'm asking my client open-ended questions. Mrs. Jones, tell us what happened. What did you do next? What did you do then? Tell us more. Explain how that happened. So now I'm giving her an opportunity to go ahead and tell the jury in her own words what happened to her. Now, a few minutes into my questioning, the judge, out of nowhere, starts yelling at my opponent, who's behind me. Remember, I'm in the courtroom now. I'm standing next to the jurors, near the end of the jury box. My client is all the way near the judge, at the very front of the courtroom. My adversary, my opponent, is sitting at his own table, and behind me, I can't see what he's doing. From where I'm standing, I don't know what he's doing. Now, out of the blue, the judge starts yelling and screaming at my opponent. And I turn around, and the guy looks totally guilty. I have no idea what he did. I'm not sure what he did. The judge doesn't tell us what he did. The judge doesn't tell the jury what he did. Okay, so he stops doing whatever it is that he did, and now I continue on my questioning. Now, 5 minutes later, out of the blue, the judge starts yelling at my opponent again. "Counselor, I told you to stop doing that. Don't roll your eyes at Mr. Oginski's questions. Don't make faces." Now I knew what he was talking about. I turn around, and this guy looked guilty as anything. His face turned bright red. And the jury could clearly see what he had been doing. He had been rolling his eyes every time I asked a question. He had been exaggerating his facial expressions to express disbelief at my client's answers. And clearly the judge picked up on it. Now I understood what the judge was talking about. And so he starts yelling and screaming at him, telling him, "If you do it again, I'm going to sanction you and fine you." Did it happen again throughout the rest of the trial? No, it didn't. And you know, this attorney can show his disbelief in the form of questions during cross-examination. He can show his disbelief in the arguments that he's making. He could show it during closing arguments. But to go ahead and make faces and to roll his eyes every time he hears a question or an answer that he doesn't believe, that's inappropriate and that's not professional. That's why the judge picked up on it, called him out on it, and it didn't happen again. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what went on in this medical malpractice trial here in New York. You know, I understand you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.